Saturday Night in Nashville was supposed to be about one man, Alan Jackson, 67 years old, 40 years in the music business, one final concert, and then retirement. But by Sunday morning, the moment everyone was talking about had nothing to do with Alan Jackson at all. It had everything to do with Taylor Swift and a crowd full of country music fans who made their feelings very clear. Here is what happened. Alan Jackson held his final ever concert at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. The show was called Last Call, One More for the Road, the finale. It was a massive event, a full night of tributes from some of the biggest names in country music: Carrie Underwood, Luke Combs, Miranda Lambert, Eric Church, George Strait, Luke Bryan, and more. Artists who flew in from all over the country just to stand on that stage and honor a legend. Jackson himself had announced months earlier that he was retiring from touring, citing his 15-year battle with Charcot-Marie tooth disease, a progressive nerve condition he was diagnosed with back in 2011. He kept it private for a decade before going public. The farewell concert was emotional, beautiful, and massive, and the entire ticket revenue was donated to the CMT Research Foundation to help find treatments and cures for the disease. That is the kind of man Alan Jackson is. Now, right before Jackson took the stage for his final performance, an announcer told the crowd, "We have one more video." And then Taylor Swift's face appeared on the giant screens flanking the stage. Her appearance was completely unannounced. No one in that crowd expected to see her, and the response was immediate. Loud boos mixed in with some cheers, and according to multiple reports from people inside the stadium, the boos were very audible, so audible that much of what Swift said was actually difficult to hear over the noise. In her message, she said she wanted to thank Jackson for decades of incredible songwriting. She said her favorite song of his was Drive, a song she actually covered back in 2008 for a CMT tribute special. She talked about how much his willingness to let fans into the details of his life influenced her as a young artist. It was a genuine, heartfelt message, and she closed by saying she appreciated everything he had done for her and other artists over the years. But the crowd reaction drowned it out. Now, why would country fans boo Taylor Swift at Alan Jackson's farewell concert? Let us break it down, because there are actually a few different things happening at once. First, the wedding. Taylor Swift is reportedly days away from marrying Travis Kelce. The ceremony is rumored to be happening on July 3rd, and some of the criticism surrounding that wedding has come from country music circles, specifically because the reception is reportedly being held at Madison Square Garden in New York, not in Nashville. For country fans who feel a deep connection to her roots in their world, holding the biggest celebration of her life in New York rather than Nashville stings a little. Second, the transition. Taylor Swift started her career as a country artist. Nashville was her home. She was one of them. And then she crossed over into pop and became the biggest music star on the planet. That is incredible, but not everyone in country music sees it as a straight celebration. Some fans feel like she left. She grew too big. She moved on. And when you leave, even if you leave for legitimate reasons and with enormous success, some people remember the leaving more than the love. Third, Travis Kelce is a Kansas City Chief, and in a stadium full of Tennessee Titans fans who watched their team lose to Kansas City multiple times, there is simply no warm feeling toward that jersey. Put all three of those things together in one crowd on one night, and you get the reaction that went viral. Swift's fans responded quickly online. Swifties flooded social media defending her, pointing out she appeared voluntarily, out of genuine respect, to honor a legend at his final show. One fan wrote, "How Nashville treats one of their own." Another said she had nothing to worry about, that she was beautiful and she showed up, and that is all that matters. Others pushed back on the boos entirely, arguing that Swift had done nothing wrong, that booing someone during a heartfelt tribute at someone else's concert is simply bad taste. and the conversation is still going today. What makes this moment so interesting is the timing. Taylor Swift is 1 week away from marrying Travis Kelce. She is at the absolute peak of her cultural power. And yet, in that stadium on Saturday night, in the city where her career was born, she walked into a room and got booed. Alan Jackson's final concert will air as a special on NBC, and somewhere in that broadcast, this moment will live forever. Taylor Swift's face on a screen in Nashville, the crowd reacting, the noise filling Nissan Stadium. A chapter of American pop culture that no one scripted, but no one will forget.